This event has been a part of our community for the last 35 years, and 2017 is no different. Frank Flash is here to tell us what is happening for this year's Fort Lowell Day. Frank, thanks so much for coming back.
Oh, you're welcome. Glad for having me.
I said it's been in our community for 35 years, but if by chance someone doesn't know, kind of give me a little history.
Well, it started with there was a historic group that lived in the Fort Lowell, or a historic area called the Fort Lowell area. And there was a historic board that started it actually 36 years ago. And the Neighborhood Association took it over 35 years ago. Basically, we opened the neighborhood for people to come and walk through. It's a self-guided tour. We have activities on both ends. One end is at Fort Lowell Park, and the other end is at the San Pedro Chapel.
So we have the tours, we have the activities, and we actually have something we did last year that was a big hit. We're going to redo this year, right?
Yeah. We've got Dr. Rudy Bird and Dr. Bob Hunter coming, and they're going to be doing the Blood and Guts presentation. And this is basically a discussion, first a discussion about the history of 19th century medicine in the Tucson area. And then after that, we're going to have an amputation, okay? And we're looking for volunteers.
Okay. To be a part of the amputation.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure people are lining up for that. I love this San Pedro chapel tile that we were just showing, because I have mine at my desk.
Oh, good.
That I look at every day, and it reminds me of what's such a great event that we have. Yeah. But we have so much going on, kids, adults, everybody really can come and enjoy.
Yeah, there's activities, like I said, you can start on either end. If you start in the park, we've got demonstrations by the Fort Huachuca Cavalry Group, if you see them on the screen now. And then we have a vintage baseball game going on there. And then as you walk across the street, you can go into the historic officers' quarters area that's been rebuilt. Then you walk along Fort Lowell Road, and you can see all the historic buildings along the path there. And again, like I said before, it ends up at San Pedro Chapel, which you see on the screen there.
Beautiful. Now, I know we were kind of joking about volunteers, but volunteers really is who puts this on, or who really makes this a great event every year.
Boy, I tell you, that's the key to this thing. We've got somewhere between 70 and 80 volunteers that work. Yeah. And we start the work in September the year before, because otherwise we just couldn't get organized fast enough. And the thing you've got to remember when you're working with volunteers is that they are volunteers, and you're taking away from their time from doing other things. So we really appreciate having those volunteers there.
And there's somebody else we want to thank that also has been a big contribution.
Yeah, there's a family. One of the things about the Fort Lowell area is that it was settled by first Mexican families coming up from Mexico, and then Mormon families coming up. And one of the Mexican families that were original settlers, I think it's the second or third generation we're going to be dealing with, the Mole family. And we're going to have a little special presentation for them over at the chapel.
Oh, well, that's so nice. And like I said, it takes everyone to kind of do a little bit of contribution, the volunteers, to kind of make this happen. So I'm going to give all the dates and the times, everything, but where does this start? Where's the best place to start this?
Two places, best place to start. One, you can start on the west end at the San Pedro Chapel at 5230 East Fort Lowell Road. Or you can go over and start in the park at Fort Lowell Park, and there's a huge parking lot there. We've got overflow parking over at Gregory School. But if you start in the park, again, you work your way west. If you start at the chapel, you work your way east. And there's activities going on all around the chapel all day. And then you've got the walking tour, and then over in the park, you've got activities going on all day as well. And there'll be food concessions and water available for everybody.
It's an all, you could take all day to kind of go and see everything.
And we've got our fingers crossed that we'll have good weather.
I'll put a good word in with Aaron and April and Kyler, see what I can do for you.
All right, good.
Thank you, Frank. Now, you are invited to celebrate Fort Lowell Day this Saturday from noon to 4 at 5230 East Fort Lowell Road. For more details, call 318-0219 or visit oldfortlowellneighborhood.org.